Did you know that there is a coin, an actual regular currency used in everyday change, that is the only one of its kind that you may or may not find in your change? We will tell you about it in a minute. Hey YouTubers, this is J&B, and welcome to our JB Coins family. We're all about coins and currency. We have new videos every day and are here to help you either start your new collection, expand an existing one, or find that one valuable coin that could change your life. In this video, we will talk about a coin minted about Sir Winston Churchill that is the only type of its kind in modern times. We will give you its values later. Now, it was put into circulation in 1965 in not only the United Kingdom, but also here in the United States. Churchill had an amazing life and many adventures that people all know about, such as being the British Prime Minister during World War II. He has many, many famous quotes he's known for, and many great speeches. He was a wonderful orator. He died January 24th, 1965. And by March 16th, 1965, about 7 weeks later, they issued this very special coin, a 5 shillings, 25 pence crown, in memory of him. It features an image of the young Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, and on the reverse is an image created using the bust of him that resides in Windsor Castle. It was the first coin issued since 1658, at that time for Oliver Cromwell, that was made with the image of a commoner on the same coin as the monarch. Now, the Queen actually had to give her approval for it to be made. It was so popular with not only the British people, who bought 19.5 million worth, but an additional 14 million were bought in America. According to the Royal Mint, over $50 million in crowns were ordered, and that's in 1965 money. Once the Royal Mint decided to make this design, the coin itself turned out to be as tough to make as old Winston himself. It had to be struck twice. First, with a massive 250-ton press, and it didn't make the design. Then it was struck again with a 360-ton press. Even then, some of the details in the design failed to transfer, like the designer's initials, ironically. But it was a huge hit with the Brits. Within a year, there were about 3 million of them in the pockets of British citizens, 3 times more than any other crown ever made. It was distributed by British banks, as the Royal Mint didn't want to deal with the public directly with regards to this coin. It sold at the time for the equivalent of about 70 cents US. It didn't have a value on the coin, which was also the first of its kind since 1902 in the UK. It turned out that it ended up so large and heavy at 38.1 millimeters and 28.28 grams. It was considered too heavy for use in commerce as intended. But that didn't stop the average Brit from having a few clanking around in a pocket. In fact, the Daily Telegraph in London wrote, "The massive jingle of a couple of these coins in my pocket has a far more heartening effect than any tatty old 10-bob note. Besides, is it not better to memorialize Churchill, to have his coin readily moving throughout the honest business of the kingdom?" That's pretty cool, huh? First, let's talk about some things they may not have taught you about Winston. The list of things, as I said, is very, very long, but we've chosen a few that we feel are really pretty interesting, that you may have never heard of. It may also explain, at least in part, why the British people so adored him. Now, most older people probably remember him because he was the Prime Minister, the face of the fight in England, with that gravelly voice that helped lead the Allies and particularly the British people through the bombings and horrors of the Battle of Britain. But way before that, he was also famous for many other things he accomplished. Among them, he was the first Lord of the Admiralty from 1911 to 1915. This made him responsible for the entire Royal Navy during the first half of World War I. It did not go well, and he resigned in 1915 and joined the Army as a member of the Royal Scot Fusiliers on the Western Front. He became a highly decorated British Army officer fighting on the Western Front. In 1940, he became Prime Minister through the end of World War II. And a lot of people don't know that he did it again from 1951 to 1955. During World War II, despite being in poor health, he traveled all over the world for meetings, mostly under the alias Colonel Worden. Also not widely known, he was a member of the Spencer family, one of Britain's aristocratic families, which included members such as the Duke of Marlborough and many others, including Diana, the Princess of Wales. He was also of mixed parents, one English and one American. He was an avid writer and historian, as well as a painter. He even won a Nobel Peace Prize in literature. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy declared him a U.S. citizen, but Winston was too ill to attend the ceremony. He died after a massive stroke at his home on January 24th, 1965. And that returns us to his coin. It is still a very desirable coin for many, and for many reasons. He continues to be quoted, and his books read by people in all walks of life in so many languages, all over the world. It's a fitting legacy for Churchill. Being it was issued as a business coin, so many people kept them and spent them that today they are still very easy to find in nice condition at affordable prices. We bought a very nice one in uncirculated condition for under $5. Now, there is a very rare version made in a satin finish called a VIP special. One can only imagine the people that got those. But the mintage of those is also a mystery. But were you to find one, it's valued at around $1,400 if you can find one. So sometimes the value of a coin for us collectors is not just the monetary value, which ironically was also never placed on his coin. Fitting, isn't it? The true value and legacy of this man is not just this beautiful coin we can all afford to have in our collections, and a man to look to for advice through his quotes and books over 50 years since his passing. The true value is of learning some of this information of the man. If you're interested in buying a coin as we were, or to go get one of his books to read, which is on our to-do list, or simply use his marvelous quotes and motivational comments, which we see in offices and homes everywhere, then you have in fact come to realize that in this case, possibly, that the value here is in the man himself, Sir Winston Churchill, and not his famous crown coin after all. He's far more valuable than a $5 coin. Please let us know in the comments section below if you've ever heard of the Churchill coin and if you knew of his other adventures. And as we said, there's many more that we haven't even covered. We would love to hear from you. So we hope you liked this video and found it interesting. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to make videos like this for you. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.